I do believe that as leaders and as individuals, in order for us to grow, we have to get out of our comfort zones. And getting out of our comfort zone really means taking risks. And the biggest risk that I ever took was packing up my bags from Virginia, a state that I had been born and raised and had developed all of my solid relationships in. And I moved over 1,500 miles away to the state of Texas for my job. And becoming the chief school officer for middle schools for Houston was one of the most rewarding experiences of my career, but it was one of the most scariest of my career as well too. And I write about it in my book that it was one of those things that I had to question, why am I doing it, or if I made the right decision. But I'm glad I took that risk because I grew professionally, I grew personally, I became friends with some of the best people whom I've ever met, and I knew what I needed to do in order to become an even better leader. And doing that was probably one of the most life-changing experiences for me, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I took that risk. This question comes up a lot, particularly when one is referring to elected office. But when we think about a leadership position, I don't think a blanket statement of a term limit should be imposed. I do believe that leaders need to have the emotional awareness and need to understand when it's time to leave the organization. As leaders, there's only so much that we can do. And once we have put together our plan, we put together our team, we begin implementing it, we need to go back and refine it. And also, when an organization's at a certain step or a certain level, the leader must be innately aware of when it's time for new leadership or new blood to take it over. This happens a lot in startups where the founder is the CEO, he or she is doing the work, and they get it to a point of rapid growth, and then they need new new eyes to come in and do that work for them. And in many cases, that's not their eyes. They can still be involved, but they can't lead it. But I can't say there should be a set term limit around leadership, but the leader does need to recognize when it's time to grow so that the organization can grow more.